exactly is ethical hacking when we break it down?
Well, fundamentally, ethical hacking means you're carrying out authorized attempts to probe systems. You're looking for vulnerabilities, potential exploits. But the absolute key word there is
But what about sensitive information you might stumble upon during a legitimate test? That seems like a tricky area.
it is, and it carries a huge ethical weight.
Mm-hmm.
An ethical hacker is placed in a position of trust.
Welcome to the Cybersecurity Podcast series. Today we're doing a deep dive into a really fascinating area, ethical hacking. We'll be looking into, the legal side of things, the boundaries, and also the best ways to actually do it. It's all about understanding how the good guys can think like the attackers, but crucially, within a strict set of rules. And before we jump in, if you're looking to level up your organization's security, definitely get connected with Sudhakar Kakinada on LinkedIn for a quick chat about enhancing your cybersecurity robustness. So let's start at the beginning. What exactly is ethical hacking when we break it down?
Well, fundamentally, ethical hacking means you're carrying out authorized attempts to probe systems. You're looking for vulnerabilities, potential exploits. But the absolute key word there is authorized.
Right, authorization. That seems to be the bright line separating it from, illegal hacking.
Exactly. It's the core difference. You have the owner's explicit consent to test their security,
Yeah.
aiming to improve it, not to cause harm or steal information.
So permission isn't just important, it's everything. It sounds like the difference between being a security pro and potentially facing some serious legal trouble.
Oh, absolutely. Without that clear, explicit permission, any attempt to access or test a system, no matter how good your intentions might be, it's illegal.
And the consequences aren't trivial, I imagine.
Not at all. We're talking potentially significant fines, even criminal charges, depending on the jurisdiction and the extent of the unauthorized access. So understanding the relevant laws isn't just good advice, it's, mandatory for anyone in this field.
Okay, so let's say you've got that permission, the official go-ahead. What are the next critical steps? What does operating responsibly look like in practice?
The very first thing, and this is non-negotiable, is getting clear, documented consent.
Documented, okay.
Yes. Think of it almost like your get-out-of-jail-free card, legally speaking. It needs to spell out exactly what systems are included in the test.
So it's not just a verbal, okay, you need it in writing, defining the playground, so to speak.
Precisely. A well-defined scope is essential. It's like drawing clear boundaries on a map. You know exactly which areas you're allowed to explore and test, and which are off limits.
And what else goes into that agreement? Just the systems?
No, it goes deeper. You need clearly defined rules of engagement. This covers the time frame for the testing, the specific methods you're allowed to use.
Ah, so you can't just try anything.
Right. Some techniques might be too disruptive, so they might be disallowed. It also outlines any specific limitations, maybe certain data sets are off limits or critical operational systems. It's all about preventing accidental damage or going too far.
That makes sense. It avoids misunderstandings and potential chaos. But what about sensitive information you might stumble upon during a legitimate test? That seems like a tricky area.
It is, and it carries a huge ethical weight.
Mm-hmm.
An ethical hacker is placed in a position of trust.
Yeah, I can see that.
Any sensitive data discovered during the engagement must be handled with extreme confidentiality. It should only ever be reported back to the specific people authorized in the agreement.
So the goal isn't data exposure, it's just identifying the weak point where data could be exposed.
Exactly. You're finding the cracks in the defenses so they can be sealed, not exploiting them. And that leads directly into another best practice, thorough reporting.
Okay, the report. What does that involve?
It needs to be detailed. Meticulously document every vulnerability found. But crucially, it's not just listing problems. You need to provide clear, actionable recommendations for how to fix them. Remediation advice.
Right. Otherwise, it's just pointing out flaws without offering solutions.
Precisely. The real value comes from helping the organization strengthen its defenses based on your findings. And speaking of strengthening defenses, if you want to explore this further for your own assets, remember you can get connected with Sudhakar Kakinada on LinkedIn for a quick chat on enhancing your organization's cybersecurity.
It really sounds like ethical hacking is akin to a doctor performing a checkup. They're diagnosing potential health issues in the system.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Identifying those problems so that the patient, the system, can be made healthier and more resilient against actual attacks.
That captures it perfectly.
Yeah.
It identifies the ailments and prescribes the treatment.
So the main takeaway here seems crystal clear. Ethical hacking is incredibly powerful for boosting cybersecurity, but only when it's done inside those strict legal and ethical frameworks: permission, scope, responsibility.
Absolutely. Without those pillars, it's not ethical hacking. And as you think about this, consider how cyber threats are constantly changing, always evolving.
Yeah, it's a constant race.
It is. And that underlines the ongoing need for this kind of proactive ethical approach. How else can organizations really stay ahead if they don't try to think like their adversaries, but always within that trusted legal framework?
That's a really important point. A continuous need for vigilance and ethical testing. For everyone listening wanting more insights on strengthening your cybersecurity posture, do get connected with Sudhakar Kakinada on LinkedIn for a quick chat on how he can help you enhance your organization's cybersecurity to the next level of robustness.
Stay secured, stay tuned.